The Zuck is about to suck a whole bunch of Texas meat. So Texas sues Meta for hundreds of billions of dollars, says face recognition used without consent. Let's get right into the story. So the state of Texas sued Facebook and Instagram's parent company Meta for hundreds of billions of dollars on Monday, claiming the social giant invaded the privacy of Texans by using facial recognition technology without getting consent. The suit claims that Facebook and Instagram snooped on the photos and videos people posted to their accounts by using the face recognition technology and asked for a staggering amount in damages. Under Texas law, companies are required to obtain consent from users before capturing biometric data, including retinas and facial geometries, steps that Meta failed to take while it was secretly harvesting data from tens of millions of Texans, according to the suit from State Attorney General Ken Paxton, who filed the motion in Harrison County District Court. Each violation of state law would come with a fine of up to $25,000, meaning that the Mark Zuckerberg founded social media giant could face a crippling fine of hundreds of billions of dollars or even $1 trillion if the state gets its way. So Meta shares are trading down 0.6% midday Monday, giving the company a market value of just below $600 billion. The state brings this suit to hold Facebook accountable for covertly flouting Texas law for more than a decade, the suit read. Facebook knowingly captured biometric information for its own commercial benefit to train and improve its facial recognition technology and thereby create a powerful artificial intelligence apparatus reaches all corners of the road and ensnares even those who have intentionally avoided using Facebook services. Meta on Monday said in a statement to the Post that the suit was baseless. These claims are without merit and we will defend ourselves vigorously, the Meta spokesperson said. In 2020, Meta settled a similar suit brought under Illinois' privacy laws for a whopping $550 million. Then in November 2021, the company said it was permanently shutting down its facial recognition system and deleting records for more than a billion people, citing growing societal concerns about the technology. Texas argues that Meta should still be punished even though it has ceased using the technology. Facebook finally claimed to have ceased its invasive and unlawful facial recognition practices in late 2021, Texas argued in a suit. By that point, however, it had spent more than a decade secretly exploiting Texans and their personal information to perfect its AI apparatus. There can be no free pass for Facebook. The suit also suggested that while Meta says it has deleted facial recognition data gathered by Facebook, it may be holding onto the data collected through Instagram, WhatsApp, or its metaverse applications. Separately from Monday's suit, Paxton is also waging an ongoing legal battle against Google over what he says it is its monopolistic grip over the online ad market. This is yet another example of big tech's deceitful business practices, and it must be stopped. Paxton said in a statement on Monday, Facebook will no longer take advantage of people and their children with the intent to turn a profit at the expense of one's safety and well-being. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe people who actually use Facebook actually realize just how strong the AI was for Facebook. Like, we're talking about something that could literally identify everything inside a photograph. So what do I mean by this, right? If you were to ever have ran an ad on Facebook, you would be able to understand how they are able to distinguish things within the ad. They could tell who is white, who is black, who is Hispanic, who is Asian, whether or not you're smiling, whether or not you're sad, whether or not you're happy, whether or not you're indifferent, right? They can tell whether or not the animal in the photo, if there is an animal, whether it's having fun or not. Like we're talking very smart AI. Like we're talking about they could automatically distinguish whether or not a photo is going to do good or not based off what's actually in it without any other input, right? They could just look at the photo. The AI just looks at the photo with everything inside it, and they can tell what that photo is about basically to like a 99.99% accuracy. Like it's absolutely crazy, right? So I just want people to really understand just how scary some of these AIs from these tech companies actually are, right? Now, the reality of this lawsuit that the Texas AG is, tossing towards Facebook, for the most part, is not really going to do much of anything. They're probably going to end up settling for a few $100 million, and Facebook's going to get like a slap on the wrist, and that's basically all that's really going to happen because that's what happens every single time. Like any time you have the government, you know, go after in quotes to these tech companies, it basically amounts to nothing. It will typically amount to nothing at all. So you got to be really understanding that a lot of the people who end up pushing these lawsuits understand that really it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, they might get a few $100 million from a multi-billion, like centi-billion dollar company, if not $1 trillion company soon. For what? Right? Brownie points with the people that voted them into their government position, right? Like this is the problem that I see with a lot of these people who serve in government is like actually go and do something. Like actually put the hurt on these tech companies. Actually do what you say, like what you say you're going to do without settling, right? Like don't settle, right? But this person's going to settle, this AG is going to settle, anyone else who's going to end up putting up a lawsuit towards these tech companies are going to settle, right? They all settle. Every single one of them settles. So it's just something to really keep in mind. It's just more, it's more fluff in the air, right? It's just all fluff. This is all just basically for no reason, right? Now, I do personally think that Facebook should face consequences, right? Facebook should face consequences for them using people's data illegally, for them collecting people's data unknowingly, right? But is there actually anything going to happen to Facebook? No, right? Facebook's not going to go anywhere, right? They're not going to lose a crazy amount of, like, massive amount of money due to this, right? They're still going to be around. Because you got to understand too, Facebook is not just Facebook. Facebook is also Instagram. Facebook is also WhatsApp. Facebook has a whole bunch of other different revenue streams coming towards it. So let's not even mention Metaverse, right? Metaverse could be a whole nother ball game, which is why they probably went into it because they wanted to diversify and get even more of a enclosed sphere of control, right? So let's put it this way. You probably know someone who has talked about their phone, especially if they have an Apple phone, right? And the thing is, anyone who owns like an Apple phone lives in the Apple ecosystem. Like they typically will also have maybe a Mac computer or a MacBook. They'll probably have an iPad, right? They'll probably have a watch, right? They'll probably typically FaceTime their friends and family because they also have Apple products. That's probably what Facebook is trying to go more towards, where they're trying to get people into their ecosystem, like the metaverse, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, right? There's a lot of people who use just Facebook Messenger for almost all of their business dealings, right? Not to mention, you can automate all your messages as well. Like, so for business specifically, right? There's a lot of online companies that use a lot of Facebook's products because it's very business friendly, right? So it's something to really understand as well. Like they're trying to build up their ecosystem to trap people into staying with them long term because that's where the money is. They want their lifetime value of their customers to be increased exponentially.